Hey, great evening to y'all. Okay, so this isn't a long live, just a quick live. So I posted my new logo, and this is going to be my push, is emotional mastery. Now, somebody just messaged me and said, Tobi, emotional mastery, emotional intelligence. It's the first time I'm really hearing that term. That's cool. I'm about to let you know what that is. What that is the ability to recognize exactly what you're feeling and why. So understanding it also. Using learned skills and strategies and techniques to actually manage no matter what you're feeling. Okay? Because you have the ability to do that. And a lot of people think, no, it's just the way it is, and this is how I react. No, what you need to understand is that we react to things according to how we are trained to. Okay? So, this is why the need for emotional mastery is so huge. Because we should not be reacting to things or feeling things in a way that is destructive to us. Knowledge is power. When you understand why you feel the way you do and exactly what it is you're feeling, well, it's very easy to manage it. Once you master your emotions and master the feelings that you're feeling and understanding it, do you know that once you really master the techniques and master the strategies to remaining calm and aware of yourself and confident in all of this learning, it amplifies everything in your life. You have better effective communication. You have easier conflict resolution. You are empowered with strong decision making because you're not deciding things from states of being that you should not be holding within your body. Okay? You see, I want you guys to understand something. A lot of people assume what they are feeling is either depression or anxiety or, a multitude of different things. And they hold these states as a way of being. So it becomes their personality. So it's not just a feeling that they end up with. They end up retaining this feeling by choice, not knowing any better. And then it becomes a state of being. So which becomes your automatic mood throughout your days. Well, that also becomes your personality. You see? So if you can master yourself by really being able to recognize what's going on within, okay? Because we all have it. But if you can master what's going on within, well, then you can master what's going on outside of you. You see? And this is real key to being able to get the most out of your experience possible. And I truly believe that. This is why I wrote my books. This is why I'm out here on a steadfast tsunami wave of infusion now of emotional mastery. And I will preach it and I will teach it and I will launch courses for this also. This is what I'm about to do. This is what I am putting together. Okay? But in the meantime, I will speak about it. All the time. All the time. And it does help. It influences everything in our life. It really does. Because look, if you're not feeling great about yourself, and if you're not feeling totally empowered, and if you're not feeling totally capable, well, that's also where your decision making is coming from. And that is also where your goals are coming from. That's what your interactive relationships are They're coming from whatever state of being that you're holding. Literally. So this is why it's important to master what's going on inside, even emotionally, because, hey, emotions shouldn't be the fuel unless they are joyous feelings and states. You see, you shouldn't be making decisions from anything but a joyous state. You shouldn't be making goals from anything but a joyous state. You see? And life experiences has made each and every human being not feel so great and not feeling so joyous. Well, with simple tools, strategies, techniques, and a little bit of learning, you can master how to be joyous no matter what. What does that do for you? It creates everything outside of you to be joyous. Okay? Even if you come across a conflict or a situation, a scenario, a circumstance, you start to look and seek the learning within things. Okay? And your emotional reactions to things really get put at the side because our logic does not kick in until the emotion subsides. Now, with the proper emotional intelligence, you do know and you learn that emotions are merely to restabilize the body, 60 to 90 seconds, and then the logical brain kicks in. Okay? But way too many people get stuck in their emotion. And I know that because I see that with people. Things can happen to them, and it's perfect. It's like Dr. Joe Dispenza explains it. If you're operating today from something that happened to you 20 years ago, and that has been your guiding force, well, then that means that you still have not been able to get over that. Because everything is for learning. So no matter what we encounter, no matter what we have to live, it's not supposed to scar us to that magnitude where we remain being the person 20 years ago from that infliction. You have to get past things in life. Well, emotional mastery pushes you to get past absolutely anything. You see, and I've said it many, many times too. Yes, things can make me feel a certain way. But when I allow them to be what they are and I see them for what they are, and with the capacities that I have and the learning that I have acquired and the expertise that I've acquired with my healing, you cannot be feeling lower density vibrations. So you cannot be embodying anything less than a loving vibration if you want to heal. So in order for me to heal, I had to master my emotions in order to heal. You can't be all over the place and be healing. You can't. It doesn't work. You won't accomplish it. This is why emotional mastery is so important. So yeah, this year I will be doing that. Speaking about emotional mastery, teaching people how to recognize things within themselves, teaching them how to manage that, teaching them how to transmute that. Because when you look for learning in situations and you find the lesson, you quickly move on. That's just the way it is. But when you get stuck in an emotional response to something, well, then it's just a repetitive cycle of disaster. Because, why I say that, is because emotional effects are real on the body. And the wear and tear that that causes is huge. And with emotional mastery, it reduces stress because you're not stressed out. You're ready for whatever's coming your way. And your capacities are right there accessible to you at all times. Emotional mastery is something that I believe the whole world needs. You shouldn't be basing any decision or any goal or any experience from emotions. And why are emotions so important is because that's how we store things in our memory, to the magnitude of how they made us feel. So you really don't remember specifics unless you have a photogenic memory. Okay? Meaning that your memory takes pictures of things. But pictures is how things are stored in our brain. But we remember things according to how they made us feel. And a lot of decision making that we make in our today's life is due to the experiences that we've lived in our past. Okay? Because it's stored as a memory of things to avoid. Why? Because that is how it made us feel. So, let me give you a perfect example. I'll use myself as an example because I love to do it. Okay? I had a really great learning experience in my past relationship. Okay? Now, if I stay stuck in the emotional effects of that great learning experience, I would close myself off to love for the rest of my life. Literally. Because that would be the basis of judgment for any future relationships that I may have. Well, that's the farthest thing from the way I think. You see, because with that expertise of emotional mastery, yes, I recognize how that made me feel. Of course I did. And yes, I totally understand why I felt the way I did. You see? Well, I can effectively use that learning to manage my future decisions. But will that close me off to another great relationship? No way. Okay? I look forward, actually, to now the next relationship that I may jump into. Because you cannot get scarred by past experiences. You got to be open. You really do. And this is what I talk about when I say you cannot judge your today's life and your choices and your goals from past experiences. You just can't. Because if you do, you're stopping your evolution and growth as an individual. Okay? So, like I was just saying, had I chose to look at that 2.5-year relationship in a bad way, I would completely lock myself off from any future engagements of what could possibly be due to a mere experience. Yeah, right, not me. I have no hindrance from past experiences gearing me to what I plan to do in the future. Nothing. Why? Because it's not my head that's leading me. It is my heart that's leading me. So there's a complete difference. Okay? Well, when you know how to master, well, first, look, it's a process. It's a true process. So you got to learn to recognize what you're feeling. And we have been so distracted from what we feel. Okay? And what do I mean about that? Well, look, when you get up in the morning, what do? Do you take that moment of 20 minutes for yourself before you do anything? Do you center yourself? Do you tell yourself that you're grateful to be alive? Do you tell your body, I love you and I am so thankful that you've assisted me to live this experience again today? Do you actively set the right foot forward every day when you wake up? Well, with emotional mastery, you will, because you will definitely feel the effects of it. You see, this is the difference. Me being healed now, I needed to master myself to heal. You cannot heal when you're all over the place. It's impossible. You cannot be in a survival state to heal. You can't. You have to have calm waters, as above, so below, in order for you to be in total balance and harmony. This is why emotional mastery is a must. So I'm really grateful for that question. But emotional mastery is being able to recognize what it is you're feeling, being able to understand what triggers that within, understanding what causes and effects it has in the body, and learning strategies, skills, tools, techniques to keep you in a higher vibe, in a better state for even yourself. Because if your emotions are all over the place and that is what's controlling you, well then you're all over the place outside of you also. Okay? And that's facts. Because whatever's going on inside, it's going on outside of you too. And the reason why it's happening outside of you is because it is happening within you. Our realities are not just what they are according to what we see. Our realities are what they are according to what we perceive them to be. From what? Our senses. Okay? So what data are you pumping out energetically, which is creating your reality, which then you are in turn gathering the data from? It all starts within you. Literally. So this is why it's very, very important to be able to not only recognize what you're feeling, and you know, it sounds very simple like that, but understand this, a lot of people, and you know what, I'm going to say it because I am who I am. Do you know that we have constructed a society that we have raised our men to be disconnected to what they feel? And it's wrong. Just because women are the emotional beings and women are the divine feminines, and it does not mean that men do not feel and men do not have emotions, because they do. Now, I know personally, I come from a generation, and I was raised with two brothers, with the conditioning that they were being installed with, that suck it up, you're a man. Suck it up. No, you're not allowed to cry. Suck it up. You're a man. You're a man. You're supposed to be hard and strong. You're a man. Wow. You know what really, truly produces strong, capable men? Is when they are emotionally mastered. Okay? That is what produces the strongest alpha men, is the ones that are in tune with their highest potential, with their creative power, with their emotional brain, and their logical thinking. Okay? Because, guys, I'm telling you something. Without this emotional mastery, you are missing out on a big piece of the pie. Because not only does that power you up, but it powers every choice. You can actually read people better, communicate with people better, and you will pick up things that off of people that you wouldn't unless you were emotionally mastered. Literally. And this is why I think it's so important for men, women, any age. Because we are in a society where people have been trained to be disconnected from what they truly feel and silence what they're feeling. No. Emotional mastery is not only recognizing and managing your own emotions, but finding the power in that, which allows you to tap into your highest potential. Because you can't tap into the highest potential if you're all over the place emotionally. And if you've been trained not even to identify your emotions, well then, you don't have that power of emotional mastery behind you. And it's really key, especially with the changes that are going on the planet. Yeah. But it's normal. So all the guys that come out here and listen to the lives and stuff, you know something, emotional mastery is really key. And you may think, emotions are women, No, we all have them. Emotions is the energy that flows through us, which our heart picks up on firstly. Then it gets shot through our limbic system, which the instinctual reptilian brain is going to kick in first. Okay? And if your body doesn't have a reason to respond instinctually, so in other words, if you do not have to run for your life or fight for your life or freeze to play dead to save your life, well, then it'll pass to the emotional brain. See what I'm saying? But guess what? The society that we've been created to live in is so fear-induced that it has everybody stuck in their instinctual brain to start with. Because everybody goes to sleep fearful and wakes up fearful, and that's limiting them of the highest potential of their capacities. Literally. Well, when you get to the emotional brain already in fight or flight, well, your body's still trying to stabilize from that. Never mind trying to regulate your emotions. And this is why sometimes the reaction is anger. Because it is misunderstood. Okay? And also, too, you got to also, in your upbringing, look at how others handled their emotions. Because that is what taught you how to handle yours. Did you have parents that were stable, calm people that could explain things to you openly and honestly? Think about it. Why do you react the way you do? Well, look at how your parents reacted to things. Because up until the age of 7, you learned by watching how others did it. So what was your learning of it? Because I know my learning of how to handle emotions was not healthy. Well, thank goodness for mastering that now. Because I wouldn't even be alive today to tell you about it if I didn't. You see what I'm saying? I had no choice. So what I'd like is for you guys not to wait until you have no choice either. Use me as an example, like I love for people to do. Because if you don't master your emotions, you will get sick from them. Literally. And that's the starting of disease and death. So it's more important than you think. Yeah. Big time. So you can walk around with all these goals and everything you want to acquire in life. But mastering your emotions and self-mastery and tapping into your highest potential is key. No matter what you're doing. And that's why I introduced today Alpha E Mind Mastery. So that's not just for men. That's not just for women. That is for every human being who wants to operate from an alpha level of thinking. An alpha level of emotional mastery. Because I don't consider myself anything less than an alpha E-mind mastery life-altering experience for anybody. Literally. Because I know myself. So I want everybody on the planet to have the same power that I do. And yeah, that doesn't mean that things don't happen. But having the emotional mastery gets you through everything. Really. It's huge. And it affects every single part of your life. Not just one thing. It affects everything. So what's my goal to it all? As I was asked if I wasn't launching a coaching business, well, I'm going to speak about this to as many people as possible. And I'm going to empower people with techniques and strategies and skills. Okay? Like I've been saying on the lives, everybody's so used to distracting themselves with watching what everybody else is doing instead of having the accountability for their own being. Well, I'm accountable to me. And everything that I think, say, and do on this planet, to who? To the creative, energetic, universal love that gives me the power to live. And I refuse to work in opposition to that. Because that is destruction. If you're working against love, you are not being, you're not thriving. So, it's about making people stronger. Okay? At the end of the day, that's what it is. I want everybody to be in full power. Why wouldn't I want them to be? You know, when I was on the live before with Bruno and he was mentioning about weak people, there's way too many weak individuals copping out, running from their own power for my liking. Literally. So guess what? It's time to tap everybody in to this power. And when you understand and can recognize what's going on within you and master that, you master everything external. And it's like the world is yours for the taking. Okay? Guys, I love you all. I'm really grateful for the questions. But, yeah. And you know what? And I mentioned men before about being clueless about their emotions and whatever. And it's not to judge them or shame them or blame them or nothing. This is what society and generational bullshit has created. Okay? And it has to be stopped and rewritten. It's just like, you know, when I was learning the mental health nursing, and when you have a mental health client coming at you in a certain way, you stop the brain pattern and you shift it. Well, there's more people out of whack with what's going on inside of them than should be right now on the planet. So I want to just help everybody get in alignment with that, because I will stop your patterns of thinking and shift it with you, with techniques to keep you going on this process and to help you master yourself. And it's not just men, women too. Women are so all over the place with their shaming, blaming, guilting, judging, gossiping, putting people down, all of that shit. You know something? Women need it too. Yeah. So, I really believe in emotional mastery. And I believe in having an alpha mindset. Higher thinking. Higher vibes. No commonplace thinking with, people that are still asleep. No. We rise above it all. And we function from that. I didn't write my parenting book and all of my other books just for kicks, eh? Literally. There's so many things that change your way of thinking just in my books, and even parenting to conscious parenting ways, like when you know better, you do better. And that's just how you do it. Well, let me drop it like this. There are many, many, many greats out there doing this. But guess what? There are many new greats coming in, and I'm one of them. Simple. So yeah, I'm on a world mission to empower emotional mastery. Literally. And it's okay to feel what we feel, but it's not okay to stay there. Especially by choice, no matter what you're feeling. Okay? And this is what I talk about too, about the not thinking about things. Things can piss me off. Things can get me real, oh yeah, you pulled that shit with me? Okay, but it's a 30-second, oh, okay, that was a fucking lesson, and move on. I don't get stuck in this blame, shame, guilt, denial. None of that. It's okay. Let's move on next experience. That's what I want everybody to be able to do. Not get stuck in these personalities because of something that happened to them 30 years ago. Get stuck being this shitty person because shitty things happened 30 years ago. Okay? Because something made you feel like shit and you decided to maintain that. And then it turned into not only your mood, but your personality. Nah. This is why emotional mastery is so important. This is why I come out and say nothing exists. This is why I come out and say you can get past anything. Because I see way too many people stuck from an incident that happened to them even up until yesterday. Let it go, it's gone. Well, with emotional mastery, you do just that. You seek the learning and the experience and nothing but. Empowerment gives you a lot of knowing. Okay? It gives you back the control of what you believe you do not right now have control of. And you do. I even said it in one of my books. My body works for me. Not the other way around. I command things to be within my body. I have been doing that for years. That's how I save my ass. Well, I couldn't be doubting myself when I was mastering to live, right? And I couldn't doubt my power the 7 times I beat death, right? And you know something? The other day when my face, and people see how only half of it moves sometimes. Well, that's the living proof about last year being given 3 months to live. And I'm still here to talk about it. Literally, you can do anything. So it really upsets me to hear, oh, well, oh, why do you feel like that? Oh, because of something 10 years ago. You kidding me? So you've been robbing yourself for the past 20 years because of something that happened to you then? So you've missed out on all this time in your life? Nah, let's get you tapped back in and turned back up to the highest potential of who you can be. That has nothing to do with another person or what they're doing. Literally. Well, why do I believe in it so much? Is because I believe in what I've made possible through mastery. Okay? You cannot heal. And you can't do what I've done without emotional mastery. Literally. And I know that. Do you think that while I was trying to heal and close huge holes in my hand, do you see that? You see that? That's bone you see under there, because I have no flesh under there. The flesh hasn't even grown back. I had to close that skin with mind power and the power of my soul. Okay? Look at the other hand. See, the other hand's got flesh. This one doesn't, though. Look at that. You see how dented that is? That was a hole right through my hand. Well, they wanted to cut off my hand. I said, no, I have dogs to walk. Just like they wanted to cut off my foot. Do you think I could have done this if I had not mastered myself? Do you think I could have kept my foot? Do you think that I would have beat death again last year when they gave me 3 months to live, had I not believed in the power of what's possible through mastery of myself? And that's the only thing you have to do in this world, is master yourself. What does that mean? Be aware of yourself. Be aware of your ideas, your thoughts, what you say, what you do, because your moods become a state of being. And then it becomes your personality. Well, anybody who's known me all my life knows that I am normally a very joyous, optimistic person. Always trying to make a better difference in somebody's life. And that's how I've been all my life. But now it's just a mastered version of that, with a whole load of intentions behind it, to make a positive impact for people. That's the difference. So I really am grateful for, I won't call any names, but the person that reached out to me and told me that the logo was really awesome, but why the emotional mastery? Well, that's why. Because once you master your emotions and you master yourself, you master life. Okay? And you'll feel the amplification of the mastery within, outside of you also. Literally. So that's why. Because you can make everything and anything possible when you tap into the highest potential of your being. But you must be emotionally intelligent to even have a chance at doing that. Literally. It infuses self-awareness. It infuses mindfulness. It infuses skills, strategies, tools, techniques for you to get the most out of life. That's why it's so important. Guys, I love y'all. And yeah, look out, because in the next couple of days you will see not only my 7 books published, but you're going to see a couple of ebooks out on the market that have to do with alpha e-mind mastery, empowering emotional intelligence and mastery of emotional intelligence. Yeah. So my books will be available soon enough. But yeah, there'll be a couple more out in the next couple of days with all kinds of tools and strategies in them that assist with the emotional mastery. Guys, I love y'all. Have a great night and get the most out of it. Set that high vibe. I want you guys to be grateful that you had an amazing day. Be grateful that your body has even been able to digest everything you ate today. Be grateful that you've been able to walk around. Be grateful that you're not on your deathbed. Be grateful for learning. Be grateful for everything. Even if you had a hard day, be grateful for it. You see, and that's how I had to come out of suffering, is actually start to appreciate the suffering and find the greatness within it. And it sounds crazy, but yeah. You got to be comfortable in the suffering for a minute to find all the great learning in it. Because if you're not okay with seeking the learning and no matter what's going on, well, then you're stunting your own growth. And see, this is one of the universal laws about how we have the rhythm. It's a law of rhythm where we can come in and out of things rhythmically, no problem. And that's the highs and lows. And we're supposed to feel all of that because it is actually for evolution and growth. But if you can't apply knowledge of self-awareness to that, well, then you're at a lack. So that's why emotional intelligence and self-awareness and mindfulness and everything does apply to everyday life. Yeah. And I'll tell you, after the life that I've lived, if it's possible for me, I tell you, it is possible for every living human being on the planet. So let's get doing just that and make it possible for everybody else too. That's how I see it. I would rather be engaging with a whole bunch of emotionally mastered individuals, whether male or female, than not. You know? And how do I know whether somebody's emotionally mastered or not? I just have to talk to them once to find out. Because I feel what I trigger in people. So when they feel frustrated by what I'm saying, I feel it. When they feel like, oh, okay, I've had enough, I can't do this anymore, I feel it. Okay? When I trigger sadness in them, I feel it. When I trigger anger in them, I feel it. Because I'm an empath. So that's how I know in conversation if somebody's emotionally mastered or not, is whether their waters stay calm or not. Because somebody who is emotionally mastered is not threatened by me at all, because they know the state that I'm coming from as they're emotionally and self-mastered also. You see? And that's why like has to attract like. And this is why I repel everybody not like me. How do I know this? Very easy. Not too many people can take Tobi on a regular basis in their face unless they are truthful with themselves. Facts. I'm a truth teller. When it's the truth, it's the truth. I don't wear masks. So what I bring to table that is infused by love that's fueling me, and with the right intentions, which I always have, because I have no malicious intentions for anybody on the planet, knowing that we're all connected. So whatever I do to somebody is I'm really doing it to myself. So I operate from a different level of consciousness. Yeah. Very much so. But that's okay. There is no self. The self that you have right now is just for your mere experience. But when you drop this self, this physical self that's not your true self, well, you have your true self still, which is your energetic self, your higher self, your consciousness of your being. Yeah, well, guys, if you want to meet your true self, you got to rid yourself of the old self. Okay? It's the key to mastery. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Have a great night. And I hope you all enjoy my logo. But yes, Alpha E-Mind Mastery is me. And that's my new logo. And it'll be a speaking business. And there will be courses that you can take. But pre-recorded courses. Like, they'll be up there, manuals, all kinds of stuff. That's to come in a couple of months. But, yeah. If you need one-on-one, well, I'm available for that in special cases. But other than that, I want to touch 1 million lives this year. So expect a lot more lives. Because the more I'm out here talking, it just reduces my numbers of my goal every day. Yeah. Okay, guys, I love y'all. Have a great night. Peace.